Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Hope you guys had a great evening and night. And it's it's not like we were overworked yesterday. Yeah, shouldn't have been overstressed at all. So you like the saying today? Yep, it is true. No, it's at the darkest moment before it dawns, and we really never get to that next level until we experience those darkest moments, because that's where learning takes place. That's where the depth comes from. And if we continue to run from those moments, we are running from our success. So we definitely don't want to run from these struggles that we have. This is teaching us so that we don't lose tons of money further down the road. Yeah, the video is it's in the members video section. You can't miss it under the day trading class. So it's in with all the other day trading videos, day trading class videos. And you'll see the thumbnail is changing as the class updates. There's a new thumbnail and the date that it was posted, so you can't miss it. And you know what? You know what's getting old?
Thing that we're looking for.
This is getting old. It's like the sun is not shining. Hasn't shined for a couple of weeks, and all we're hearing are crickets. Yeah, Tesla tanked. We got a piece of it yesterday. Gotta wait. You know, if you guys were in the class live yesterday, you heard us talking about it. It didn't hold under 229. That's what I was looking for it to do. Or hold under 2, and it bounced. So we'll gotta wait and see what it's gonna do. Just have to wait and see what it's gonna do. It put in a high. Well, we'll look at the chart. Hold on. We'll bring that chart up. Let's turn the crickets off. And we'll bring this chart up here. So I'm already holding some from when we got in yesterday. Haven't really done anything with it, so pretty much still flat. But here's the pre-market high, right here. All right, so if we come back and try to test this and we can't break the high, then this could potentially be a good, all day hold. The problem I'm seeing here is I'm looking at the lower deviation band right here, and it's creeping up, which means there's some big underlying selling pressure. So that's going to be, what I'm going to be looking at here coming into the open. Is this going to open back up, or is this buying pressure going to continue to stay? Yeah, I said selling. I meant to say buying. I'm sorry. I meant to say buying, but this is what we were looking at. What kind of messed up the class on well, it didn't mess up the class, but kind of what I was looking at during the class yesterday. So no, it's not too late to get in, but I would wait until we actually establish a downtrend here this morning. I know we're kind of in a downtrend here. From here, here's the high to bounce. We tried to bounce here late last night, and then we had a gap down, and this bounce we didn't break the high, but you want to see it make lower lows, lower highs, and it may work itself down. But Tesla, they can come out, they'll come out with some conflicting news to try to spike the stock. You know how Musk feels about shorters and people shorting his stock. So yeah, Tesla. I mean, or Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, you know, a lot of these guys that are going to the zero commissions, that doesn't really do anything for me because they're not really geared for day traders. They're more geared for the swing traders, the investors. You know, just for that reason, a lot of times they don't have a lot of shares to short. If you're a day trader and you're short, you short. As a day trader, you need to be able to go both ways. I know when I started, I only went long, and I only went long for probably 2 years. But eventually, you're gonna have to go both ways because the market is gonna give you opportunities both ways, and you got to be ready to take advantage of it. And so being with a broker that is limited on short availability, you know, it's going to be hard. Yep, you had to get them last night. You had to grab them last night. If you were grabbing them on Speed Trader, you had to grab them last night. But whatever it is, I'm not changing anything. I mean, what I'm doing is working for me. And where people start to go wrong is when they start chasing and start trying to change stuff up. You got to be consistent. All right, so nothing on our scan. This is awful. This is really awful. At least, I mean, if anything, we would have garbage on our scanner. But we don't even have garbage today. We don't even have garbage on our scanner, which is bad. But again, this is the law before earnings. And we still got another week before earnings kicks off. We got to go through next week. But things will start picking up. You'll start to see a little more activity next week. Now, you always seem to have activity with small caps. And I think there's some IPOs coming out today. I don't intentionally scalp. I never go into a trade looking to scalp it. If it ends up being a scalp, it's because it didn't follow through past my first target. So I never advocate scalping. I'm not a scalper. I don't like it. I think it's more it's not, you're not able to be as consistent. Plus you have to size up, and that increases the risk. But yeah, I take half off or 2/3 off at my first target, depending on market conditions and all that. Yeah, well, I'm already in Tesla. We got in it yesterday when the news broke. IB does have a DOS platform. You have to, or you can connect your IB account to DOS. That's what I do. Yeah, you have to pay. I just pay for it because I use DOS with everything else. Because everything looks the same. No, obviously the routes are different, but everything looks the same in terms of the layout. And that's what I like. I like everything to be uniform and consistent. All right, so let's take a look at Pepsi here. PP. This one, this has a little bit higher float, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Can't remember 100%. Yeah, 1 billion share float. So we're going to take a look at Pepsi. And this is one of the occasions. Remember, we were talking about scanning and, sometimes if we don't have anything on the pre-market scan, we open it up to stocks that have a higher float. This one does have a $1.74 ATR, which means it does move during the day. You look at the daily chart. Here it looks pretty good. Oh, this is the wrong. God dog it. I'm sorry. I never did type it in so you guys can see it. So you look at the daily chart, it looks pretty good. We don't have a whole lot of these tiny candles, these big gaps in between days. So it's a really decent trader. So here's a 52-week high up here, 139.18. All right, so we got level here. It's kind of where it ran into earlier. And we got some token level in through here. So that's what's holding it right now. So definitely PP. It will be worth putting on our watch. Not sure if it's gonna give us the move we need. Obviously, it's gonna need some volume. It will need some volume. But it is, it reported earnings yesterday after the close. I'm sorry. It reported earnings this morning. I'm like behind a half a day. I'm still working on yesterday for some reason. Not sure why. But I'm still working on Wednesday. Half a day behind. So we got that one. We're looking at PEP. BBBY, it's a cheaper stock. I don't really think it's going to give a big move today. I just don't. I don't think it's going to give us a big move here. All right, so we're kicking off. Kicking off trading with a little bit smaller size this month. So I wanted to kick it off Tuesday. It really wasn't anything going. So we'll try today, but PEP is a little bit out of our window here. So we can only take 100 shares of this. So our position size is pretty much dictated by that. So let's look down. So STZ may be coming into focus, but I can't. That's out of the price range right now. BBBY, this one, it's a lower price stock, but we don't have the dollar gap. And that's kind of the issue here with Bed Bath & Beyond. See, because yesterday's close price was like right at $10. And we are at $9.50 right now. So depends on what package you get with DOS. People are going to pay different amounts. Plus, depends on whether you get a discount. Everything is negotiable. I paid $149. Yeah, a veteran, that veteran discount for $1. But I pay 124 for a sure trader. Don't pay anything for a speed trader. If you trade enough, you know the platform is free. Yeah, we'll see how the day goes. We'll see how this day goes. Let's see, because let's see what we got coming out today. Let's see. See what the data is. All right, the durable orders. That's the only thing coming out today. The job report comes out tomorrow. Now, what tanked the freaking market on Tuesday was the manufacturing numbers that came out. That sucked. The manufacturing numbers sucked and the market tanked. And that's what hurt the swing trades. Which is why, when the market is selling off, there are no opportunities for swings. Because I'm not swinging to the short side. These short-term swings are only longs. And being a part-time swing trader, the only time I have to really set up is in the morning. On Sunday mornings. I don't have time to deal with it during the week because I'm focused on day trading. So when the market tanks like this in the middle of the week, it pretty much kills day trading. So I give it, swing trading, I'm going to give it the time on Sunday mornings, get everything set up, have a group of stocks to watch going into that week. But if the market tanks, there's nothing to really talk about. Nothing that we can do. Because if it's trending down, I'm not getting in any swings to the long side. And you guys can scan, all week. You can scan every day if you want to. Run the scans and find opportunities. But I just don't have the time. I can't focus on trying to put together swing watch lists every day when my number one focus is going to be on day trading. That's kind of where I've always been. Even when I was working full time, that was what I did. Um, how far in the red do I let my day trades go before I cut it loose? I have a max loss based on whatever account size I'm trading. So like now, if I'm trading a $2,500 account, I have a max loss of $150. I'm not gonna let it go. I mean, really, it should be 100, but you're gonna have to risk a little bit more in a smaller account. You can't get ridiculous with it, but you're gonna have to risk a little bit more. So I'm risking 6% basically. But if it's uncomfortable, then you've got to drop it down. You can't risk that much. Yeah, and I'm hoping, because the opening range strategy is so simple. You can't get any more simple than that. But executing it in an ever-changing market is what makes it difficult. And that's why you have to witness it being executed, over and over. Yeah, if a lot of times, and we're seeing this a lot because of the way the automated trading works. It's kind of set up to fool people, to give false breakouts or breakdowns, and then you get stopped out, and then it actually starts to work. That's why you've got to limit your losses so that you have the opportunity to get back in if it comes. Now, it usually doesn't happen as much on the opening range trades because we have so much volume coming out. There's so much volume at the open that these big funds that are trying to move the market against people can't really do it because there's so much volume. But later on in the day, you'll see a lot of false breakouts because they're just sucking up inexperienced traders' money. That's pretty much what they do. But sometimes it happens at the open. It does. It could be they sense a lot of profit taking, so they'll jump on that bandwagon and move it just enough, and then that's it. Yeah, TD Ameritrade is following these guys. Yeah, like we were talking about, them dropping their commissions to zero. It doesn't really help day traders like me who short a lot. It'll help with my swings. TD won't charge me commissions on my long-term swings, but how often do I go in and out of an account? Go in and out of that account, because that's like an IRA. So I don't make that many moves in there. And some of these other brokers, they go to zero, but they have no short availability. With a $150 max loss per trade, I have, if I lose 2 times in a row, I'm done for the day. If I get 2 losses, I'm done. I can't go any further. Yeah, I'm answering questions on YouTube as well. I'm trying to build a classroom in my garage. The problem is the ceiling was too high and it's so big there was a big echo. So I'm having to actually build because I bought like some cubicle stuff, but it's still a huge echo because the ceiling. So I've got to actually build a room inside the garage for this thing to work. So I'm kind of working on that now. Hopefully this winter I'll have it finished. I can have an office in my garage. Yeah, so the classes, you'll be able to see me actually standing up. I'll be back in my element again. Oh, I didn't see your TDOC. What was your question? I'm sorry. It might have rotated off before I got to see it. Yep. I've got a 9 EMA on the on the um on the intraday, yeah. All right, what's up with CRWD? I know it's not on earnings. When was it? Yesterday? Yeah, analyst upgrade. I don't really like those that much, but let's take a look at it. Might be one we can add on. Because usually when an analyst upgrade it, man, it's all garbage and fluff anyway. And I'm pretty sure we don't have any shares to short of this. Oh, wow. 20,000 shares available to short. Not bad. That's odd for something that's a couple of months old. All right, I'll bring it up and look at it here in a sec. It's kind of hard to tell because on a dead chart because you can't see the price action as it's happening. But we'll take a look at it. Well, we got shares to short. It's got some windows of opportunity here. So even though it's not the ideal catalyst, I'll put it on my watch. All right, you're welcome. So we'll add that. All right, so let's take a look at TDOC. So we'll look at it based on this. But reversals depend a lot on a lot on price action here. Remember how I told you, how you have to read the candles as we're coming into support? All right, you said TDOC. I don't see where it never got anywhere near 59.30. When did it hit the reversal scanner? Up in here somewhere? Around what time? I mean, if it hit over in here, there's no reversal set up, really. When we're looking for a reversal, we're looking for a move like this, running into support. And it looks like it ran into some support here, but you can see the 9 is so close. And it's still coming down. It just wasn't any room to bounce. So yeah, this was really never a clean setup. Looking at the chart after the fact, it just wasn't a clean setup. Yeah, it could have been the whole dollar that kind of held it up, but there's no room to bounce. So if there's no room to bounce, there's no trade. You gotta have, on a reversal, you gotta have room to bounce. You can't buy it into resistance. I mean, you can buy it and hope that it's gonna break it, but hope is not a tactic, so we don't want to get caught up in that. So the initial sell-off is good. The problem is we didn't get any real clean price action coming into this level. Once we got to this level and it started to show some signs of the momentum slowing, we didn't have any room to bounce. And that's what really stuffed it. This 9. Yeah, hope is definitely not a tactic. So PEP and CRWD is going to be our watch list here. Not much, but again, just like yesterday, we can't really force it. If it, yesterday I didn't pay attention to the right levels. So I blame that one on me. Yesterday was a non-trade event that I didn't do it. So we'll go ahead and lock this watch list in. Now, I apologize. I get criticisms from people on YouTube that say I'm boring. I need to entertain more. But I'm sorry, this is not a game to me. Which is why I don't like contests and all of that stuff. This is serious business. We're trading our hopes and dreams, And if you're looking for entertainment, this isn't the place to be. You know, I'm going to do what I can to teach you. And teach you the things that I know that you need to know. Because I've been through it. I've been through the fire. If you want to go back, look at you can get to my blog through my website. I need to start adding more stuff to it. I kind of got lazy when I started doing the chat room and doing the YouTube videos. I stopped posting and typing blogs, but you can go back and watch. When I first started the blog back in 2014, 2015, you can follow the progress and the things that I've learned that matter and the things that don't matter. And some of the stuff that people teach you, that they teach you this because they heard somebody do it, but they don't actually do it themselves. And so that was something that I had to figure out early on. It's like, hey, if they're not doing it themselves, then hey. Tesla is not a day trade. I can't day trade it. It's too expensive. But we bought some yesterday. Well, not bought some. We shorted some yesterday in the middle of the class. So I'm holding on to that to see if it's gonna sell off. If not, I just know that's just the way Tesla is. If it starts to sell, then I'll load up on it. But anything over $150, well, right now, anything over $100, I really can't put on my watch list. But today, Pepsi was kind of the only one. I can only take 100 shares of it. So, you know, we'll see how that works. We'll see how that works. Wow. SureTrader has Tesla shares to short. Can you believe that? Now I'm concerned. If SureTrader has Tesla shares to short, this thing is going to bounce today. It's not going to sell off. That's my theory. That's why if SureTrader puts a stock on margin restriction, that's why I stay the hell away from it. Because if anybody knows, SureTrader knows. Because you know who runs it. And so it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. You just got to know how to use the information you get. I know everybody here and everybody listening to me has watched Wall Street. Everybody. If you haven't watched Wall Street, you shouldn't be here. There's no reason for you to be here. But here we go again. My desktop won't load. You know, he's like, what does he say about information? It's the most valuable commodity, and it couldn't be any more truer in this deal. I don't know why it takes 2 hours for my desktop to load. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, so that's why I say Tesla, you gotta I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do anything with Tesla anymore. Yeah, look at it. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? If SureTrader has shares of Tesla to short, what did I tell you was going to happen with it? You just have to know how to use that information. You got to learn how to use the information. All right, so let's actually look at the stocks that we're looking to trade, because we're a little behind right now. We're playing around. We're a little bit behind. Excuse me. Yeah, Roku is looking a little racy today, doesn't it? It might set up for a secondary trade later on in the day. Yeah, I entered a couple shares yesterday at 231.50. And we did get all the way down to 228 something before it bounced. But the plan was to add, to load up, to get in a position if it set up this morning. But no, I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough shares to cover. I only had 100 shares. But the idea was to be in and then, add today if it set up. That was the plan. But it's not setting up. So no need to add. No, I'm out. If once it broke the higher pre-market, this, whatever that, my thesis was dead. My trade plan was dead. That's what I was saying this morning. If it broke the pre-market high, it's done. That trade idea is done. No more adding. And then on top of that, when I saw what SureTrader did, how often do we have shares of Tesla to short? How often do you see that? Yeah. Let's see what we got, man. See what Mr. Market has in store for us today. All right, so remember, that's not my strategy, Mitch. It's not my strategy. To me, that's a little too risky. I wait for the opening range to set. Wait for the opening range to set, and then we go from there. All right, so good thing about this is we almost took out the pre-market high. Okay, pre-market high. We ran up and tapped it. That's the good thing about it. Yeah, I guess I should have done that. So we pulled all the way back. Why do I keep losing my market clock? All right, CRWD is ripping. The float on Pepsi is like 1.1 billion or something like that. No, I'll tell you about it later. We talked about it this morning. You know, I explained it in the class too. But once we get settled, we'll go over it. Damn. So we've got the low and the high established on this. All right, so here's the low, 5-minute low on Pepsi. I can't take it. I can't short into the 20 right here. You know, that's not going to happen. You can't wait till this year is over. All right, so we're going to get in it. We're under the 20 right now. And we're looking for a move down to the 50 or the 200, somewhere in there. I couldn't take it up here. I couldn't take it up here. So we had to take it. Let's see, we're at 136.25. All right, so we've got our targets down here. Our stop is back above the opening range low. That's where our stop is. All right, right at the end of the candle, we're going to come back and close above the 5-minute open range low. Really? So we break the high of this candle, I got to kill the trade. So what we should have done, even though I waited for it to get below the 20, I should have waited for it to close. No, that was probably the best. That would have been the smartest thing to do. But I waited until we kind of got below this, and we established it on the 2-minute, that we got below the 20 on the 2-minute. So that gave me confidence to try and get in that. But it doesn't look like it wants to sell off here. So over. All right, so I got to kill it. So now I've got to wait. And see if we get another setup. All right, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to ask the right question. I'm waiting for somebody to look at this and tell me, what didn't I do? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I got 1, 2, let's see. No, I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and nobody. Right here, dude. What is that? What did we talk about yesterday? What did I try to beat into everybody's head yesterday? A couple of you guys got it. A couple of you guys got it. I was waiting. I was only going to risk 50 cents on this. $50 on this, but this popped up a little bit too quick. I was waiting for somebody to scream. Nobody screamed it out. Somebody said something about this level down here, which wasn't a big deal. I was waiting for you guys to tell me, no, don't do it. Don't do it. This is one of the few times that I did something wrong on purpose. Because I wanted to see if anybody was paying attention yesterday. Was anybody paying attention? Why in the hell would anybody short into all of this? I intentionally left this pre-market support out to see if anybody was going to catch that. No, that's not the VWAP deviation band. That is pre-market support. And I don't know how long I spent talking about how much we need to respect pre-market support.
Dow.
Man, I was talking about I should have waited for it to close under the 20. And I mean, everything. I gave y'all all kind of clues. See, next time, don't go to sleep in class. I know y'all logged in and went and fed the dog and swept the front porch. Probably started cooking some dinner. So oh, that's all right. I'm just giving y'all a hard time, that's all. Just giving y'all a hard time. Well, that's what teachers do. That's what teachers do. And it cost me about $30 more than what I wanted to. But that's all right. Well, like I said yesterday, I don't care about the previous day's high. That doesn't have anything to do with today. What I wanted you guys to see was the pre-market support. Now, the pre-market support could have come in because of the high the previous day. But I don't go back and look at the high the previous day. If it's relevant, it's going to show up in another way. So and you're going to have, and I'm not saying that using the pre-market high, the previous day's high and low is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that I don't use it. I don't look at it because it has no bearing on the strategies that I trade. If it does, it's going to show up in another way. It won't show up as the previous day's high. That's all I'm saying. Because what's right for my strategy may not be right for your strategy, or it may not be right for the other guy's strategy.
AMTD.
That's what makes trading so beautiful. Okay, what the
TSLA.
How the hell did I do that? Just made me out a liar.
AMTD. TSLA.
Oh my gosh. Well, that'll work. I just made myself out to be a liar. Well, Tesla is really, really nice. I didn't get the bell or nothing.
TSLA.
Yeah, it hit. It hit the order I had out there. Well, I didn't get the alert. something's wrong with this thing. I don't have time to work on it right now. I'll get it fixed later. Something's not right. My alert thing didn't go off right. No, I've already. Well, yeah, you kind of missed the lesson. I'm not looking to short sell PEP. Yeah, there was a lesson behind it. You'll be able to go back and watch it. You'll be able to go back and watch it. And none of my alerts are working. What the hell is wrong with this thing? 231.50. Why aren't my alerts working? Yeah, there's a lesson. It goes along with the lesson from yesterday, which is why I took it. Yeah, so you'll be able to go back and check it out.
TSLA.
All right, so you can see PEP is making that charge up. But there's still no trades on this until even if I establish above the opening range high, which is pretty much the pre-market high, we've got the 52-week high at 139.18. And I guarantee you it's probably going to get slapped there if it comes back. Now CRWD, you can see there's no way I was going to short into all of that. No way. And it's selling through the moving averages, but I could not short into these moving averages. There wasn't enough room for profit here. Now, this is one of these examples where you could do it and it would have worked. Well, we got a first target of 225 on Tesla. Yeah, Pep was on earnings. Its gap up was on earnings. Well, I would have missed it too. But there's something wrong with... maybe I need to reload this platform. I got to get on the phone with them. With Dawson, see if I can figure this out.
ETFC AMTD
Oh, man, come on. You're just not giving... Yeah, so CRWD, this wasn't a clean one. So even if I saw this tomorrow, I still wouldn't take it. Wow, look at this. It got slapped down pre-market high. Pow. Pow, that's why. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. Gotta be patient.
Dow
Gotta be patient. Yep, those numbers, man. Those numbers ain't no joke. No joke.
JDST
It's not letting me in. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. But you know, you got to be careful with this stuff now. We know how many one candle wonders did we end up with in the last couple of weeks. Some bad news hit. We got a big sell off. And then bam. That was that. So we got to be careful. Because remember, how do we make money? We make money trading off of other traders' emotions and their overreactions. That's how we make money. And so you let these other people overreact. You let these chasers chase. If you think about it, I know you were wanting the number at one time, right? I know I was. Until I realized that's what people were looking for. That's what they were looking for me to do. They were trading my overreaction. So what we want to see is we want to see the SPY oh cool, my 225 order got hit. Something is not right, man. So my 225 order got hit. Okay.
Dow.
So let's wait for our opportunity. Let's wait for our opportunity here. Let's see if we're going to have enough volatility to trade this. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my platforms. There's something wrong with my server here. I may have to reboot my server.
SBUX. TSLA. TSLA. AMTD.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're picking up a whole lot of volatility.
SCHW.
It looks like it's trying to hold up here. So I gotta be patient and wait for my shot. I'm not giving away my shot. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of volatility building in this right now. Can't trade it. Man, I was hoping we would get some volatility on this.
SCHW.
Man. This is what I'm talking Yeah, this is pretty much what we see. It fizzle. We get one solid, strong move, and then that's it. We're done. So these two, CRWD had a nice move through a bunch of support. Really nice move through a bunch of support. Not a clean trade, not something that I would even look at taking. Not even rolling the dice. If there was enough room between these levels, yeah, absolutely. But it just wasn't enough room between those levels for it to make sense for me to trade that. So we're looking for TVIX to see if the market was going to sell off. If we got some volatility, TVIX could be a beautiful trade. But we didn't get any volatility. Outside of that first candle, that was it. And that's what we've been seeing. These one candle wonders, these one hit wonders. That's what it looks like. If it triggers some people to come in and start selling, but nobody's panicking right now. PEP, that's the only stock I took in the small account. But I've been trading Tesla since yesterday. In a larger account. But small account, yeah, PEP is the only thing, and it really didn't set up. PEP, I took it to see if anybody was going to catch what I was teaching yesterday. But it really, PEP wasn't an ideal setup. So if you haven't seen the class from yesterday, then you wouldn't understand the reasoning behind it. You had to have seen the class to understand the principle behind what I was teaching. Because that's a principle. This is what gets us caught in a lot of opening range trades, and then we blame the strategy, but technically the setup wasn't there. Because see here, we put in the 5-minute opening range, and then we short on the break of the opening range, but we had a 20 here, so we had to wait to break the 20. But what a lot of people miss and forget about is pre-market resistance, or pre-market support, or pre-market resistance. They forget about the pre-market levels. And so that's what the focus was yesterday, and the focus was today. And I was waiting for somebody to catch the fact that I shorted into a pre-market support, a strong pre-market support. Very strong. And then here's a pre-market high. Very strong. But that's the lesson that I was trying to really beat into everybody yesterday. And that's the reason why a lot of our opening range trades fail sometimes, because we neglect to pay attention to pre-market support. I don't understand. It's saying my order was canceled. Well, I don't understand Tesla, but I'm glad it hit 225 before it came up with this stupid bounce. Yeah, I did it on purpose to see if anybody was going to catch that, because that was really the main point in the lesson. One of the main points in the lesson yesterday on the opening range strategy. Because you had all of this support down here, so it didn't make any sense to short into that support. Exactly. Yeah, if you weren't here, if you go back and replay this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, you got to. I mean, that's the only way to really get the point across. And the whole purpose for the chat room is to learn, not to. Some people say the chat room is for calling out trades and scanning for trades and all that stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, the chat room is for learning, because I can show them, like I showed them this on a dead chart yesterday, went over 2 or 3 on a dead chart. But until you see it in action, until you actually see it happening before your eyes, it's hard to connect the dots. It's just like a teacher giving you a book to read and say, hey, read this, and then I'm going to give you a test. And they never explain the principles or the concepts. They never give you any examples. They just tell you to read this and do it. Or read this and I'm going to give you the questions. And that doesn't work, especially when you're dealing with your money. When you're putting your hard-earned money on the line, you don't You don't want somebody to give you a book to read and say, hey, go do it. So that's kind of been my teaching philosophy from the beginning. Well, actually, it came from my dad. My dad was a teacher, and he was a big proponent of learning by doing. And so he kind of started that. He kind of started that movement, and so I really learned from him. If we get a hard rejection on Tesla, it'll be good for an add back. But Pep, there's no entry for me on the break. I'd have to wait for it to pull back. And I don't know how much room you're gonna have, because the 52-week high is 139.18. That's the 52-week high. I'm not gonna switch. I'm happy with IB Speed Trader. I've got TD Ameritrade, and USAA. So I'm not gonna switch. If you're with a broker and you're doing good, you got a relationship with them, it's stupid to chase free commissions. I think the people that are gonna chase are the ones that can't trade worth the shit anyway, and they think changing brokers is gonna help them. But I'm happy TD Ameritrade is going to zero commissions. I don't move a lot of my trades around in there, so it really won't benefit me that much. And then, trying to day trade in that, the short availability is abysmal. And for me, somebody that day trades to the short side a lot, is probably not going to work for me. So I don't plan on trading. I already got TD Ameritrade, but I don't plan on trading. Changing. Now, I'm not going to chase it up here with 3 strong bars. I'm not going to chase it right now. I got to wait for a pullback. And I just don't want to jump on it like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't look the short on TD Ameritrade. I can't short anyway. I trade my IRA in there. But when I was looking at it in the beginning, when I was looking to get a traditional broker, I already had an account with TD Ameritrade. So obviously I looked at them first. But they're just not, for me, they're not conducive to the type day trading that I do. They haven't seemed to fit. Great for swing trades. I love them. I love them for swings. But I don't like them as day trades. But like I said, if you have a broker and it's working for you, you got a relationship with them, it makes no sense to change. And I'm sure if you go to them and say, hey, look, I've been with you all these years. This other company is offering free trades, free commissions or whatever. You think you could work with me on that? I don't want to have to leave and go somewhere else. I'm sure they'll work with you. And you don't have to change brokers. But you can best believe the money that they're losing on commissions, they're going to make up somewhere else. And a lot of brokers act as market makers within themselves. They have the ability to buy and sell internally. So for instance, if somebody puts out that they want to sell at 138.58 and somebody's willing to buy at 138.63, they'll buy at the lower price and sell it at the higher price, and they make money off the spread. That's what market makers do. Yeah, that's another issue. People would be they would end up taking more trades. They may tend to overtrade. I'm not sure if you can do custom time frames or not. I don't really use DOS for charting, so I'm not sure. I use Thinkorswim for charting. All right, here we're getting a little pullback here. Not much of a damn pullback. It's not what I wanted to see. That's not. This isn't the pullback I wanted. I wanted to see it pull back to the 9 or something like that. This isn't what I wanted to see. I'm not interested in this. All right, so what does look interesting? But the volume is dying on this. The volume is dying. Yeah, these are DOS charts because I'm trading in SureTrader. But this is what I'm looking at. I've got 3 monitors with Thinkorswim charts. That's what I use for charting. I've got the DOS chart up here because it plots my entries and exits, and you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, this one the volume's kind of drying up on. See, this was nice. I needed a better pullback than this. And that's the 52-week high. I may short it against the 52-week high. We'll see what it looks like when it gets there. Yeah, but I've got it to where it's seamless. Cause like when I first started with SureTrader, that was the only broker I could trade with, and I only had the internet one. I couldn't download the platform at work. It wouldn't allow me to like download it on the school computer. So I could only use the internet one, the internet based one. And so I would have my Thinkorswim charts up, and then I would use it that way. So I kind of established a process to where I would be trading out of DOS, but I've got my Thinkorswim charts. It's like if you go back and look at the morning when I'm, vetting the stocks, I'm using my Thinkorswim charts. Because if I mark a level on one chart, it's going to show up on all of them. And then if I log off and log back on, the levels are still going to be there. It's just so much easier using this. Well, we got about 15 more minutes. Well, 20 minutes, 19 minutes before my lunch. We'll see if it gets there. If it gets to the 52-week high, I'm shorting it. I think it's going to reject there. And then it may bounce and then push its way all the way up. So here we are close to making a new 52-week high. 139.18 is it. But it sure doesn't look like it's showing any signs of slowing down. I guess the number one rule is, never trade without a plan. That would have to be the number one rule. Never trade without a plan. If you don't have a plan as to where your stop would be, where your profit targets would be, don't take the trade. You don't get in the trade and then figure it out from there. You got to know ahead of time. Oh man, if this damn 9 crosses that support level, which is 5-minute opening range high, it's not enough room to short. It looks like it's just going to push through. It just made a new 52-week high. It looks like it just made a new 52-week high. And CRWD looks good, but there's just not enough volume in this. I need more volume. Yeah, I don't think, if we can't get a significant pullback or a bounce, because typically what I like to see on these is a big pullback and a bounce. All right, this is what I'm looking for on CRWD. Give it a couple of ticks. Man, the spread on this is wicked. Man, the spread is just too big on this. All right, we'll get in here. So I'm looking for the push up to around 60.50. Here's the flag break. Yes, probably could have gotten in early on the flag, but this is, again, I can't buy into a level of resistance. Most of the time you want to be in early on the flag break. So let's see what we get on this. Well, PEP is not that extended. I mean, the RSI is, it's right at 70, but it's got a long way that it could go if it wanted to. All right, Darren, I'll try to do that. See if I can get the volume up for you. You just check it the same screen that you build the alert in. I do it on my phone. I mean, if you're gonna put in an alert, you got to know what stock you want to alert, right? You got to know that. It could be. We'll see on this candle right here. You see, here's the volume spike on this candle. That's what you look for on a breakout. But you need the volume to continue on the second candle. If you don't see volume on the second candle, then it may not be a good break. Now I'm only looking, well, I'm only looking for one stock. If I have an alert, it's only going to be on one stock. So I'm not sure if you're trying to do multiple stocks. Yeah, listen to Jamie. She'll get you squared away. She will get you squared away. Of course. Of course, you're going to make me lose money today. Of course. Oh, don't say that. Oh, don't say that. Oh, no, don't say that. And sometimes that's my line. You can't steal my line from me. And it looks like it's gonna fail. Everything's failing this morning. Fail breakout. A fail flag break. Everything's fail. The market's a failure. I'm giving it an F. I'm giving it an F today. Complete failure. Come on, Thinkorswim. Wake the fuck up. Low 59.10. The market is a complete failure. F, 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 F. We're giving Fs. I need to find my F stamp. That's what I need. Where are my F stamps? F, 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 F. Failure. The market is a failure. I'm going to use another F word too. Might not be nice. I might have to kill the microphone for it. Yep, I gotta mute it so I can curse it out. All right, I finished my tirade, so yeah, hopefully we get some volume. This is frustrating, man. Not getting the volume and everything is just drives me insane. Yeah, penny stock. I mean, you're always going to have these lower price stocks that's being pumped. You're always going to get them. And this is what happens. I don't have my damn target out. Always. I've got my first target out there. See if we can grab it. We're not getting the bid to come up. The bid's stuck. Nobody's willing to buy it higher. Shit. That sucks, man. The damn thing came up and got stuck at. Alright, here we go. Come on, bid that thing up, man. We need to bid it up. Come on, baby, push. All I need is about 15 more cents. You asswipe. All I need is like 15 more cents, man. Here we go. Ha ha. Ah, gotcha. You little. Gotcha. Alright, so the next level is going to be let's see, market or stop. No, limit, dumbass. Limit. Next level is, the next target is going to be 61. And then there's a level at 61.52. That's going to, so 61.50 would be the final target. And then, of course, stop's going to be back at break even. Yeah, I didn't get all out. I got a piece of it. I'm looking for 61 for another piece. Hopefully it won't get up there and get slapped down. Come on, pop it. We got some volatility up there. Let's see if we can get it run into 61 target here. Go. Go. There you go. Gotcha. He asked now. All right, so just put in a range order for the next. That's the smart thing to do. So what we're gonna do, this stop. See, sell, stop. It's gonna be a range order. It's gonna be just below the low of this candle, which is, what is that? Yeah, so I'll use 59.90. It's above
Roku. BZUN.
all right. So the stop is just below this candle here, which if it gets there, it should be defended by the 9 by that time. But we'll see. You know, we've nailed it. And remember, we're trading with small size. So you're not going to see these huge $1,000 gains. You're trading small size, you're growing your account, and it's about being consistent. It's about being consistent with you executing your strategies every day, being patient, waiting for the setup to happen, and then sticking to your plan. Man, that's all we can do. What happens after we get in the trade, we have no control over. We have no control over the market,
Roku.
how it moves, anything like that. No, we have no control over that. Why did I pick CRWD? You can't. Can you see the flag? Can you see the bull flag? The break of the flag was a break over this resistance at the time. So we bounced into this resistance. We pulled back. There's the flag break. We put in the flag here. There's the break. And we went looking for a high day. The perfect trend continuation trade.
Auto.
So one thing you're going to learn, and one thing that I try to make sure that all of our members learn, is that patience. Waiting for your setup to show itself. Don't chase other stuff people are talking about here and there. You know, we had 2 stocks on our watch list and we stay locked in. You look at PEP. Look at that one. You know, this was a great opportunity.
Roku.
And this is still trading over just what we teach. We break the 52-week high. We pull back because you're going to have people buying. The inexperienced traders are going to buy on that break. And when they buy, you're going to have big money sitting there ready to sell into those buy orders. And it gets sold off a lot of times. A lot of times you're going to have more sell orders, more people selling than buying. And they're going to take these out. And if it bounces off this support, then you've got a good opportunity of breaking the 52-week high again and making a run up. It's the same thing that we look at in our swings, our 52-week high swings on the daily chart. We look for them to initially break and pull back with the profit taking.
Roku.
And these guys selling into
BZUN.
the inexperienced traders. Pull back and we blow up. Now, I probably would have taken this if I hadn't have been in CRW. We're looking at both of these. And it's when you set your watch list, as long as they don't give you a signal that they're just not in play anymore, you got to stay locked in on them. CRWD was on my watch list this morning. It was on my scanner. Why didn't I let it go to a point before I stopped out? That's what you're asking?
Roku. BZUN.
How much room to... Well, it's got unlimited room because it's a 52-week high breakout. the only thing that's going to slow it down is the volatility. How many people come in buying this thing up? In order for it to go up, people have to come in buying it.
TXN.
All right, guys, I'm giving this thing another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to lunch.
NVDA. BZUN.
Horizontal line 6152.
Roku.
Yeah, sounds like Roku is on a rip, man. All right, so you can't see the line just yet, but my final target 6152. That's the next level that we'll run into. So we don't see it yet. Yeah. Pep, I mean, it was a good long once it got out of all of that traffic. It was a real, it was a good trade. Especially once it held. I mean, it's been riding the 9 up since like 10:15 or so. Um, the live classes are the actual
TDOC.
the recording, the member videos are the recordings of the live classes. And every year I redo the classes. So it takes a year to get through everything. So every year, like next year, I'm going to start over and, with the roadmap. And so anything that we need to do to update it, I'm going to update it.
Zen.
And so every Wednesday are, me going through those classes, I'm updating them. But what I put out on YouTube is usually just the it's just the like the recaps and some little nuggets of what I do. And like the class that I shared one of the day trading classes yesterday on YouTube. That's like one of the live classes. And then, every day in the chat room is pretty much what you're experiencing right now. Like after lunch, it's a lot of times it's really dead after lunch. But But every now and then we get some good trades coming in after lunch.
Zen. Oppo.
But if you guys like this, this is what we do every day. This is what we do every day in the community, every morning. Like I said, it's an extension of the classroom. It's about teaching and learning the fundamentals that you need in order to be a consistent trader. You got to be consistent first, and then you can start making some money. Now, if you can't consistently average $50 a day, you're never going to get to averaging $500 a day. You got to get that consistency down. You got to learn and develop the patience, the discipline, all of these skills that you're going to need in order to be successful. You got to develop them. And too many people come in trying to get that quick hit, and it doesn't work that way. Every blue moon, you get one lucky guy who comes in when we have a BPTH running, and they jump in and put 1,000 shares on it, and it goes up $40, and they're like, man, I got this. And then within a month or two, all their money's gone. So you gotta be consistent, and you gotta, it's a gradual thing. But if you do it the right way, it doesn't take long. I promise you. All right, come on, baby. You're close. I just need somebody to bid me up. We there on the ask. We need a bid up. Somebody on the bid's got to hit 61.50. Come on, match my order up. There you go. That's all I needed. And we're done. This thing might keep running, but that was my target. That was my target. Just go to AverageJoeTrader.com. And you'll see it. The roadmap special is the one that's the special that we have now, that's 6 months. And you get one-on-one mentoring, access to everything. I don't have limiting memberships. Everybody gets everything. The only difference is some come with mentoring, some doesn't. But every membership, you get everything. All classes, access to everything. The Sunday morning sessions that we do, I do those every week. Now, if I was really bold, I'd short it here. But I'm not going to do it. I fucking hate you. All right, guys. So I'm 30 minutes late going to lunch. I like to go to lunch around 11 so I could be back when the big men are coming out of lunch and trying to position themselves. So yeah, the Wednesday classes are live, and what I'm doing is every year I update them. So like the day trading class that I'm going through now is updated information. It's some of it's the same as the one I did last year. Like the fundamental stuff is the same, but some of the changes that we made, some of the adaptations that we made to the strategy, the examples are different. So it's the same class, but only updated. You know how when you were in school, you had every so many years they updated the textbooks because the information changed. My classes, because information changes so fast, I have to update them every year. Oh yeah. It's right. The form is right there for you to ask questions, and all of that. And also, we do one on Sunday mornings as well. It starts out with the market analysis. Then I build my swing trade watch list for the week. And then that's another open forum where you can ask questions and all of that. Yeah, I was on a diet when I wasn't making money. I couldn't afford lunch. I actually got a pack of Roman noodles that I ate. I bought a pack of them. I ate like 2 of them earlier this week. So yeah, I'm on a diet. I'm on a top Roman noodle diet, which is guaranteed to gain you 50 pounds in a month. All right, guys. So I appreciate you hanging out. Um, Always fun. Thank you for the questions. As usual, if you got any, you could always email me, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com. You can always email me there, shoot me questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So you guys take it easy. It's time to go to lunch. All right, awesome. Hey, like I said, if you can't make $50 a day, it's gonna be very difficult to start making $500 a day, much less averaging $100 a day. So this is where it starts. I mean, if you go back and look at my records from when I first started trading, I had $20 days, $45 days, $10 days, and it doesn't take much, guys, to get to $500 a day. It doesn't take much. Once you get the foundation down, the fundamentals down, it doesn't take much. Not at all. All right, guys. Catch you later.